Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League. This is our Sunday evening championship, and we're with the League 2 guys. If you've been following, then you'll know all about that. And we are at round 4 already, round 4. Now, we've got 2 races for you today, 2 sprint races, 22 laps for race 1, I think. Race 2 maybe 21 laps, but we'll see when we get to race 2. But anyway, race 1, 22 laps, and we are down in Chichester in the UK at Goodwood, at a very sunny Goodwood as well. Looking at a picture there, not a cloud in the sky. It is an early morning race. The next one will be a little bit later on in the evening, but you would almost think it's summer, wouldn't you? Look at them skies. Fantastic view. This is the track that I think everybody loves to hate. 2.3 miles, 8 turns, and yeah, it's a tricky old circuit. We'll have a bit of a closer look as we go along. Anybody that plays the game on a regular basis, you'll know all about this track. But as I say, we will have a look at it as we go around. So the guys have been out, done 10 minutes of qualifying, and this is how the grid lines up. So Scott has managed to put himself on pole position. Harry Poppins in second, Enzo Jack is third, and thank you to Enzo Jack for sharing the replays. Really do appreciate that. Wayne G is fourth on the grid, Declan is fifth, Frowny is sixth, Pete is seventh, Bazza eighth, ninth is Aussie Rooster, 10th is Vodka Rob, and 11th is Firepower. So if you've not shown up for this one, perhaps the track has just completely scared them off. Who knows? But yeah, five drivers are missing, but we'll go with the 11 we've got. I'm sure we're in for some fantastic racing anyway. So let's get this one underway, shall we? Rolling start as usual, and fantastic shot in, well, I think it's a crane that they're in, overlooking the start-finish line, and that chicane as well, which always seems to throw up a few shenanigans, shall we say. But we are off and we are racing as they all go across the line and head into turn 1 at Modwick Corner. Let's just try and stick with as many as we can around turn 1. It always, as I say, throws up a few issues, but no, all good so far. As Scott goes off into the distance through turn 2, heading down towards turn 3. Harry Poppins on the chase, Enzo Jack in there as well, Wayne G4, so no change yet at the top, as everybody just trying to get some heat into those tyres and get a feel for the track. Obviously they've been out and done the qualifying, but it's not the same as the actual race, is it? So around turn 5 at Levant Corner then already. No real changes yet as Scott takes us down the straight. Fantastic livery on that car as well, the Buzzing Hornet livery. A lot of work gone into that one, and it's Scott who's the first into the chicane. We'll just keep with everybody, make sure that we all get through, and we have. So a successful lap there for everybody, as we see Aussie Rooster and Bazza battling it out into turn 1. Everybody will be on the soft tyres. A bit of fuel management might be required as well, I'm not sure. If you see any of the other guys racing, then there were issues with the fuel. It is set quite high actually, so could be a bit of fuel management required, as Bazza really trying to put the pressure on Aussie Rooster. Let's jump on board with Bazza as we're going into turn 5 at Levant Corner then. A quick look behind us, and the gap's big enough there to not really trouble Bazza, so Bazza can just concentrate on trying to get by Aussie Rooster. He's got Enzo Jack just in front of him as we come towards Woodcote Corner at turn 6. Hard on the brakes to try and get this almost double apex, and then you're immediately faced with this chicane. Oh, Bazza had to take evasive action there, otherwise he would have gone straight into the back of Aussie Rooster. Looks like Frowny's had a bit of an issue as well, so let's jump out and see what happened to Frowny. We'll just go back a little bit. Frowny currently sitting in 5th. We will have a look at the back of his car as well. There was a challenge with Frowny actually to see if he can get a different sticker on the back of his car every week, so we'll have a closer look at that in a minute, but let's just see what happened here. Well, the back end just came round on him as he came out the exit of the chicane. Now what's that say? Oh, why so serious? Yes, the Joker, fantastic. I've actually got a t-shirt with that exact same thing on it somewhere. So why so serious? So that's Frowny down to 9th then, and he's still picking up a bit of grass and a bit of dirt as he goes through turn 1. Let's just go back up to the top, shall we? See what's happening up there. Scott still out in front. Got a bit of a gap back to Harry Poppins. Not massive, but a gap nevertheless. Wayne G has now made his way up into 3rd. Declan in 4th, Pete in 5th, Enzo Jack in 6th, just behind his teammate actually. So Pete and Enzo Jack, well, they can't work together, no bump drafting allowed. Not that you could really do it on this track anyway, but I think Pete looks like he's actually thinking about giving way to let Enzo Jack through. We'll just keep an eye on this. Great shot through the chicane as Pete picks up a lot of dirt and grass. That should give Enzo Jack the run on him as they go towards turn 1. Now then, is Pete going to move over and let his teammate through so that Enzo Jack can get after Declan, or is there no team orders at all? Oh, and Pete goes very, very well. Oh, and Enzo Jack's gone as well. What a disaster for the pilot teammates as Enzo Jack, well, that's got to be a record number of spins, hasn't it? Let's just see this again. We'll just go back just a little bit. Who should we go on board with? Well, you can just pick them, eh? As they go into turn 1, no real team orders, I don't think. Pete just went very wide. Might have been a touch of contact, I don't know. Enzo Jack got on the grass and he is just spinning and spinning and spinning. There we go. Everybody get dizzy and feel sick now. As, well, where's he gone? We've lost one, have we not? Pete, where's Pete gone? No, Peter's carried on. Peter's carried on. He's in 5th. Well, what a disaster for the pilot team, especially Enzo Jack, who came off worst there, and well, he's got quite a gap to catch up now, hasn't he? Vodka Rob in 10th. He's trying to put Firepower under a bit of pressure. Firepower's managed to move up a spot and get ahead of Vodka Rob. So that's Firepower in 9th, Vodka Rob chasing him down, Aussie Rooster in 8th. He's chasing after Frowny. Now then, Frowny has got his own battle to worry about. He's got Bazza and Pete. Oh, I was going to say too wide don't fit into the chicane, but they obviously do. Pete has pulled into the pits. Now then, why is Pete coming to the pits? His tyres look okay, he's got plenty of fuel. Well, I don't know, we'll come back to that one. There was no reason for him to pit, I don't think, but maybe a technical issue. Back up at the top, Scott, he's missing out on all the fun that's happening behind him. Harry Poppins in 2nd, Wayne G in 3rd, then Declan in 4th. He's having a great start to this race, is Declan. 2 teammates up in the top 4. Declan chasing Wayne D down the Levant Straight. We'll just stick with Declan, shall we? Right, let's go on board. We'll go on board with Declan as we go into turn 6 at Woodcote Corner. This double right-handed apex turn straight into the chicane, then hard onto the brakes, down through the gears, back on the power again, trying not to let the back end get away from him, and Declan did that superbly, and he's staying with Wayne G, and we do know how quick Wayne G is. So Declan doing a fantastic job at the minute of just staying in there, having a good old look at the back end of Wayne G's car. Quick look behind us, and well, there is nobody there. The gap is enormous actually. We can't see how many seconds it is. As Declan gets a great entry into the into turn 3 and 4 there at St Mary's Corner, and into Levant as well. So Declan doing a fantastic job there of just keeping in touch with Wayne G, who in turn is keeping in touch with Scott and Harry Poppins just up ahead. Then we've got this big gap then back to Bazza and Frowney. Bazza doing his absolute best to keep Frowney behind him as they go down the straight now. Frowney into the slipstream. Is he actually going to make a move? No, I did promise. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. There was a big old sticker on the front of Frowney's car, which we were going to look at as we go through the chicane, and it says caution Scotty was here, and that refers to I've been told it refers to a previous collision between the two of them, and so a bit of a homage back to that incident, shall we say. So that's Frowney in 6th, Aussie Rooster in 7th, Enzo Jack in 8th, trying to recover, but he's all over the grass again at turn 1. Turn 1 really proving to be a problem for some of these guys, and that's the second time I think Enzo Jack has had an incident at turn 1, picking up a lot of dirt on his tyres, so he's got to be careful through these next couple of turns at St Mary's Corner. Vodka Rob in 9th, he's managed to get by Firepower, so Vodka Rob up to 9th now, Firepower in 10th, and then Pete still sitting in the pit, so well, I don't know, the mechanics don't seem to be doing a lot, do they? They're just standing around as if they're waiting for permission to actually work on the car, so there's obviously an issue with Pete. We hope to find out what that is. In the meantime, he's actually been lapped quite a few times. Scott still out in front. Harry Poppins still in 2nd with Wayne G in 3rd, so no change at the top. Declan just, I think, dropping off the back of Wayne G slightly, so Declan just got to step it up just that little bit to tuck himself right underneath Wayne G again. But what a fantastic race so far for Declan. He must be loving it out there. Bazza still in 5th, trying to open up a gap back to Frowney. There's probably a couple of car lengths gap between the two of them at the minute, well, maybe a little bit more, as they head on down Levant Straight then for the 8th time. 22 laps this race at Goodwood, into turn 6, and then immediately into that chicane at turn 7 and 8. Oh, and Bazza kicking up an awful lot of dirt there, and that's going to allow Frowney to get the run on him into turn 1. Across the start finish line they go, and Frowney does get himself ahead of Bazza into turn 1 because of that mistake that Bazza made, kicking up a bit of dirt, getting on the grass on the exit of the chicane. And Frowney saw the opportunity, and well, he jumped on it, didn't he? Aussie Rooster in 7th. He can see those two just up ahead, so he'll be wanting to try and catch up to them. It's a party he'd like to join, I'm sure. Enzo Jack down in 8th, although he's made his way up to 8th, having been put down all the way at the back after that coming together he had with his own teammate. He's got up to 8th, but it's a lot of work to do for him to actually get any further than that. We shall see. We'll keep an eye on Enzo Jack. If anyone can do it, he can. Firepower down in 9th. Well, him and Vodka Rob just seem to keep swapping, don't they? One lap it's Firepower, the next it's Vodka Rob, so they just keep saying, go on, you have a go for a bit now. And that's exactly what's happened. So Firepower leading Vodka Rob, and then Pete still down in the pits. Well, let's just see what we can find for you. Well, we was going to do a lap. I'll do a lap with Scott. I'm just going to have a quick look down and see if we can see anybody battling, and at the minute they seem pretty spread out actually. Scott just seems to be opening this gap now back to Harry Poppins. The gap seems to be getting bigger and bigger, so what I'm going to do is we're going to jump on board with Scott, and we're going to do a lap of Goodwood with our current race leader and owner of the fastest lap as well, a 109. So across the start finish line we go, heading towards turn 1 at Modwick corner. Just teasing that throttle so as not to push the car too far wide to the left, and Scott does a great job there. Then it's up through Ford Water at turn 2, heading down towards turn 3. Big crowd on the left there, look, all looking very excited. Into turn 4 at St Mary's. Again, you don't want to be pushing the car too hard, otherwise you end up on the right hand side and then you're gone off. Into Levant corner at turn 5, which then takes us onto the Levant straight, and then it is foot planted firmly on the noisy pedal. A quick look behind to see where Harry Poppins is, and then we are into turn 6, hard on the brakes, get this double right hander, and then we are faced with the chicane. And Scott made it look very easy, didn't he? And there we go, across the line for another 109. So fantastic racing from Scott. So that was a lap of the Goodwood. And you can see it's like one big picnic zone, isn't it? And it's even worse if you do go off onto the grass, because it takes you forever to come back again. Wayne G sitting in 3rd, so the guy's starting to spread out a little bit now. Gap's pretty even. Declan, the same thing, a bit of a gap opening up between himself and Wayne G now. Then we've got quite a big old gap then back to Frowney sitting in 5th. He's having a bit of a lonely race as well. Bazza's there, but not on his tail. Bazza currently sitting in 6th. We just see him come around the corner now. He's followed by Aussie Rooster in 7th, and then we have nearly a third of the track gap back to Enzo Jack in 8th. Now I'm not sure if he's had another issue or not, but that gap seems to be getting bigger. So Enzo Jack, not a great first race. Although he's had a purple sector, he really is pushing hard now, nicking and pinching every bit of the track he can. So he's looking at trying to get that fastest lap, isn't he? He's just trying to pick up that extra bonus point, really pulling that McLaren through its paces. He's got a 109.4 to beat, so we'll just stick with Enzo Jack to see whether he does it. He really is pushing hard. As we come into the chicane, and is he through there? Yes, he's through there, nice and clean, and then up towards the start finish line. Well, he seemed to lose quite a bit of time actually. That was a 110. He was going purple for a lot of the track, but there you go. Vodka Rob still in 9th then, with Firepower 10th, and Pete still sitting in the pits. So lap 13, well, just coming across the line now to start lap 14 is Scott. And yeah, everybody spread out. It's all sort of calmed down. They're all having a bit of a practice drive. No real dramas from anybody. Oh, a bit of lag from Brownie. That's about as the most excitement we've had, isn't it, so far? Aussie Rooster in 6. Well, it just shows everybody doing such a great job of keeping the car on the tarmac. I thought there'd be people going for trips across the greenery and all sorts of shenanigans today, but these guys have completely proved me wrong. There have been 1 or 2 incidents, obviously, but nothing like I expected. So it just shows the quality of the guys that are out there at the minute. And Pete, I would really love to know what's happened to Pete. He's been sat there now since, I don't know when it was. It was, well, since lap 4, there you go, in the top left. So he pulled in at lap 4, and Scott is now on lap 14, just about to cross the line to start lap 15. So whatever it is that's troubling Pete, it's keeping him in the pits. So Scott out in front and is the fastest man, so he is going for maximum points in race 1. You can just see all the aeroplanes parked up there. They're the driver's personal planes that they use to get around the country in. Mary Poppins in second at the minute, with Wayne G in third. And it does look like Wayne G starting to creep up to the back of Harry Poppins. Perhaps Harry Poppins is going to do a little bit of fuel saving. In fact, let's have a look at the fuel, shall we? So we're on lap 15, near to the end of lap 15. I'm looking at the tyres and fuel for Scott. Well, the tyres don't look too bad, to be honest, and he's got just over a quarter of a tank of fuel, so I think that's probably going to be the same for everybody. And it pretty much is, although Vodka Rob seems to have a bit more fuel than most, and his tyres looking a little bit better as well, actually. Same with Firepower, tyres looking okay, and Pete's tyres are perfect. So yeah, there's going to be I don't think there'll be any stops for these guys with 6 laps to go. As Scott takes us through St Mary's for the 16th time and into turn 5 at Levant Corner. Well, it's all been a lot tamer than I thought it would be. What's Wayne G getting? Is he still gaining on Harry Poppins? I think he is. This could be a good battle towards the end of the race. Excuse me. Good drink. If Wayne G can just push that a little bit more, he may be content with the third step on the podium, but if he can just give it that extra little bit and catch up to Harry Poppins, it might give the crowd something to start cheering about with the last couple of laps. We'll keep an eye on that one. Declan just slipping away from Wayne G at the minute, but still a fantastic race from him. Frowny in 5th. Aussie Rooster still in 6th. Now then, why have we got a yellow flag? I'm just having a look. It looks like somebody is parked up. Oh, it's Firepower. Firepower's parked up. Oh, I think he was getting the blue flag being waved at him. So Firepower's just decided to pull up on the exit of turn 1 to let the guys go through. Didn't want to hold them up. But that's what the yellow flag was about. So yeah, Firepower just moved out of the leader's way. So Scott, oh no, Scott, what are you doing? Are you trying to lose this race? Let's have a look and see what's happening here. So Scott out in front, cruising along, not a care in the world. Into turn 6 he goes, and just gets that rear tyre onto the grass, which throws him across the track, and then bang, straight into barrier. Manages to get through the chicane, but look, Harry Poppins and Wayne G, they're onto him straight away. Now then, this could get interesting for the last few laps. Let's go on board with Harry Poppins. Quick look behind, Wayne G gaining all the time. Harry Poppins, he will be absolutely encouraged by that little mistake of Scott's, and he is on it. You can see him absolutely revving the doodahs off of that McLaren to try and catch up to the back of Scott, and he is gaining and gaining and gaining. Into turn 3 they go. Turn 4, don't push it too far to the right. And Wayne G's there as well, he's creeping up, so this is going to be a fantastic fight to the finish with 4 laps to go, including this one. We do not need any more mistakes from Scott. Harry Poppins obviously is hoping that he does. Wayne G is hoping that the pair of them have a mistake. Wayne G currently sitting in 3rd, but he is now having a right good old sniff around the rear end of Harry Poppins' McLaren as they all get through the chicane safely this time. Scott did well actually, because that would have been playing on his mind when he came out of turn 6. It always does when you have a big spill like that. Actually, that could have been a lot worse. He did well to keep it pointing in the right direction. Declan's still sitting in 4th, and it looks like he's creeping up to the back of Wayne G again. So, well, it's still any one of these 4 could get onto the podium. Scott regained his composure coming up to turn 5. It woke him up a bit, I think, that little spill, and it's refocused him, because I think the gap has increased slightly from Harry Poppins. Remember, Harry Poppins did get right up behind Scott, and I thought he was going to be really applying the pressure, but it looks like Scott's managing to just pull away a little bit. And it's the same with Wayne G. I thought that Wayne G was going to get a lot closer to Harry Poppins, but no, we've all calmed down. Always, we just saw Declan have a little bit of a side swipe at the chicane there, very easy to do as well, but he's maintained track position anyway. Big old gap back to Frowney in 5th, Aussie Rooster in 6th, Spazzer in 7th, Enzo Jack in 8th. Never really recovered, did he, from the spill he had, or the coming together he had with his teammate. Maybe that's why Pete is in the pits. Maybe there was some damage done to the car when he had that bit of an issue with his teammate at turn 1, and the mechanics are struggling to fix it, but I hope they get it sorted ready for race 2. But that's Enzo Jack in 8th, then Vodka Rob in 9th with Firepower in 10th, and Pete still sitting in the pits and not coming out. So 2 laps to go then. Scott still out in front, Harry Poppins in 2nd, Wayne G in 3rd with Declan in 4th, and it's been like this for practically the whole race now then. Declan has got the fuel light flashing with 2 laps to go as well. Let's just have a look. Wayne G's the same, Harry Poppins is okay, and Scott, he's got the fuel light flashing as well. So these guys may just have to do just a little bit of fuel saving if they're going to get this extra lap. Neither of them want to pit, obviously. They will be able to see how many laps they've got left in that fuel tank. But when the light flashes, it usually means you've got something like 1.5 laps, something like that left. So maybe a little bit of fuel saving, like I say. Although it does look like Scott is still giving it the beans. He's not sparing the horses, is he? Through the chicane, I don't expect him to come into the pits as he comes up to one of the back markers. I think it may be Vodka Rob. So all 3 of them across the line. Declan as well, he's refusing to pit, so maybe a bit of short shifting. Well, I say that, but he's still giving it some beans, isn't he? In 4th is Declan, Frowney in 5th, so nobody is coming into the pit, so they all think they can get another lap out of that tank. To see if there's anybody that is properly desperate for fuel. Enzo Jack not looking too good, but I'm pretty sure he won't come into the pits. Not there's any room for him, because his teammate is his teammate's back out. So Pete is back out on track. He's got a 3-second penalty. That'll be for the pit lane. Oh, and he's holding Declan. Oh, Declan, I can almost imagine what he's saying as he tried to get past Pete. So Pete has come out for the final lap as we see Scott go through the chicane for the final time then, heading towards the checkered flag. So great race from Scott, led from the start. Well done to him. Harry Poppins across the line in 2nd. Wayne G will get 3rd. So great racing from those guys. Declan, fantastic race from him to take 4th. He'll be pleased with that. Then we've got Frowney he's going to bring it home in 5th position. Aussie Rooster just coming through the chicane to take 6th. And then Bazza will cross the line in 7th. Vodka Rob already across the line. Enzo Jackie will come in 8th as he goes through the chicane. And then Firepower quite a way back actually, but Firepower will finish in 10th position. So that was race 1 here at Goodwood. Join me later for race 2, which will be a little bit later on in the day. It's going to be an evening race. I don't think it gets too dark, so we should still be able to see the cars. But the drivers are going to go off and have their dinner and some refreshments, etc. Maybe even a nap for some of them. Who knows? And they will be back out on track a little bit later on. So yeah, hopefully you can join me for that. If you've enjoyed these races, remember, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, then please do so. And thank you very much to everybody that has. I really do appreciate it. And there we go, Firepower across the line. So I shall catch you all very shortly for race 2.